There we go. Now let's see if Free Minded is man of his word yet. Go ahead and go to his invite. Sorry for the delay. Just had to figure out how to get the Google Hangout set up and link. Still new to it, so. But the invite to Free Minded has been sent, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we'll see if someone else pops in and get a conversation going. Nothing yet, though. He said he'd be ready around 2 my time and on from there. So give him a few minutes and then we'll, I guess, talk to myself and figure out a topic until someone joins in and see what's going on. But yeah, but like I was saying earlier, my last stream, it's kind of ridiculous when people want to call you out, but aren't prepared to man up and meet you up in the live stream to actually say something rather than being keyboard warriors. But we'll see what happens. Everyone's welcome. Globe, flat Earth, doesn't matter to me. I mean, I definitely expected Free Minded to be a man of his word and show up, but it's not looking good. Send him another invite, see if I can piss him off into accepting it rather than just be all words. But we'll see what happens. I'll send the next one on I'll share my screen that way everyone can see that I am inviting him over and over again. Sitting here just waiting for him to actually show up. Now, like I said, I wasn't expecting anyone to be here, so whether people come in or not, the only person that's supposed to show up is Free Minded, and he decided not to. Reason. Let's throw another one at him right now. Go ahead and way you guys can see that I am trying to find him because this is now the third invite to the hangout so that we can get this started, but yet he's still not answering. I wish I would have. I really thought he'd show. Otherwise, I would at least found someone else to back, to show that would have showed. But I mean, what can you say? Well, like I said, the reason I'm doing this for my page is mainly for the guys that like to call people out and keyboard warriors, as far as I'm concerned. Me trying to figure out if anyone else is on, be interested. It doesn't even have to be back and forth. Normally, I don't want to do that, so man, that's disappointing. I was really eager to go back and forth with him. Oh well, I have no problem just hanging out. But whether it's him or not, there he is, the man of the hour. I was worried about whether or not you were going to show up, man. Started up the live stream, got everything recording, seeing if you were still ready to go through what we were going to go through. Um, I'll go ahead and send. You may want to check your. Actually, hang on. Let me do it this way. I'll go ahead and send you the chat out right there. Seeing how I don't think anyone's coming on to snipe me, so. You should be able to hit that link and get cruise in. All right, no worries. Man, I mean, it doesn't have to be straight flat Earth globe type stuff. It can be anything. I'm all about the truth about everything. backstory on what's going on here. Of us are gonna sit here and yell because I know Free Mind is pretty respectful when it comes to all that good stuff. We're just have a nice, light, fun little discussion about flat Earth and truth and whatnot. Uh, flat or Free Minded decided to call out my name in a quite popular channel, and felt that couldn't be unsaid. And instead of jump on the panel that was being aired, I decided why not start a stream and see if instead of the guy he's watching do it, see if he'd do it. Little background, definitely like to keep my mind open to different avenues of everything. So I research and I do a lot of searching for truth. I think Free Minded had said previously, he's got about 2 years flat Earth. He can correct me if I am wrong when he gets in. But other than that, the ad in the chat, no problem. Go ahead. See what kind of temperament you got to get you on the panel too as well. But like I said, neither one of us are having any ill will towards each other. It's fun games. It's kind of hard to do it in someone else's channel and a little chat box. Figured this would be better. Well, right now we're kind of just waiting on. I think he's trying to get his mic set up and everything ready for it to join the hangout. Let me know when you're ready. Free Minded, I'll send that link back out. Just want to make sure some random person don't come in and try to snipe me for no reason, which I don't really find possible, seeing how the four randoms have probably just meandered their way into here. But I wouldn't mind if you guys subscribed and liked if you're willing to scroll on over and hit that like button. Maybe mix it up in the chat a little bit rather than just sit back and figuring things out. We're kind of just getting started here. That's my boy right there. What up, Titan? Wasn't sure if you had heard what was going on from the other chat from Bro Sanchez's chat or live stream in the chat box. Kind of the whole reason this is happening. Well, this is going to be a kind of a throwback. I'm not really like I said, I'm definitely flat Earth now, but it's not the same. Like I said, if someone's going to call me out, I have no problem reverting back to my old ways to see what kind of information they have, and if they're just spitting out information they heard. Oh man, just kick back. If you want to throw in some ideas or topics in the chat, that's cool too. Kind of want to see what Free Minded has on his mind rather than it being a group thing at the moment, but it'll get things started. All right, Free Minded, let me get that right now. like I said, in a few minutes or a little bit. I have no problem anyone joining, but for the beginning of this, I'd like it to be just free, me and free minded, seeing how discuss the topics. How you doing, my friend?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
Can
You
y'all
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yeah, I got you. You're good.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hello. What up, Sean? What's going on, bro?
Relaxing,
There we go.
seeing what's going on. Figured it was about time we did this.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's some crazy shit going on right now. I know we supposed to talk about flat Earth, but it's some wild shit going on. I don't know if y'all know it,
Nah, man, whatever you want to talk about.
man.
I know you
Hey,
two
This,
fucking with a nigga. You
huh?
two
how
fucking
you doing, man?
man. They kept fucking with the. It's like this, right? They kept fucking
What's
with
up?
Bro Sanchez because it was a double live stream last night. Well, a triple live stream when Dred was on the panel because he was streaming as well. But anyways, all in all, it was a double
I'm hearing
live
both of y'all,
stream.
man. I can't. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
All right.
and I was saying it was a double live stream, right?
I hear
But
Jamaica talking.
YouTube kept. Can
Can
you hear me?
you can hear me?
Yeah, it might be some lag on my end. What about?
You got it. You can hear us? Check,
Yeah,
check. Okay, cool.
well, I was saying that YouTube kept fucking with the quality of Bro Sanchez's channel, right? Cause it was all blurry. He kept on coming in and out, right? So I'm like, all right. And I kept on backing in and out his live stream 100 times, and it was still the same results. So I said, okay. So I went over to Uncle Suge's, what you call it, and his quality was not fucked with not once.
Yeah, I went over there and I was listening to that. Kind of sound like chickens with their head cut off, trying to figure out what's happening. But
Yeah, it was crazy.
there was a few like
It was
it was. I only got bits and pieces of it towards the end. Only main part I got was when Adam was out there. God rest his soul, man. I told him don't mess with him. I don't know why he went mess with Dreads, and then he went over to Bro Sanchez like it would be even any better.
I don't know, man. We go
Yeah, I
in and
told
we
him.
passionate. We try not to get emotional, but we get passionate. We get passionate, especially when when we actually try to humble ourselves to share the knowledge and not be selfish with the knowledge that we've all gained within ourselves and from each other. And then when we give it to them, it's like they basically just spit in our face. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that was the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm happy I didn't do when I came around. It was like I wanted to hear what you had to say. I wanted to take it in and run with it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just shun everyone off. I think the first time I got on with you guys, it was a little different, but I learned. And I definitely wanted to, people that I run across, like that dude Adam, I run across him all the time. And I wanted him to understand, man, because he
Hmm.
sounded cool. He wanted to hang out, chill at Flat Earth. And I told him, man, if you're gonna do it, you gotta. It's a little different than how you think it's gonna work. You can't just go in there and be like, gravity's real, and that's all there is to it. And everyone's gonna listen to you. So
We put that shit on the plate, and eat it up, won't we?
yeah, man. It's even. I didn't get a warning. I just jumped in and had to figure all that out myself and realize, where you got, how to. Some people that don't think exactly like you. If you want to learn and
Hmm.
you want to and you're interested in learning anything, then it will work out. But he's still on that one sided track where
Let me ask
he's
you, son.
convinced you're going to see wrong about something.
So let me ask you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You have to did we have to convince you the Earth was flat, or did we just present the information to you and let you convince yourself?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear us?
Oh, okay, I'm back on. All right, I'm good now. I can hear
Okay,
y'all.
cool. Um,
All right.
I No, it was definitely not
Shaji,
convincing. It was
you a
more
flat
like
earther now? You a flat earther, huh?
I consider myself that because of the global attitude and
Right.
ignorance.
Okay.
I felt that once I had to start correcting, Glovers that came into the channels, trying to, debate with you guys is ridiculous when they'd come at you guys with information that wasn't even real on a globe map.
Right. I figured you would come around, man, because you seem like a smart dude.
That's real
man.
though.
You seem like a
That's
smart
real,
dude. I
man.
knew you'd come around.
That's why I love my brother Sean, man. I love the fuck out of
Yeah,
you, Sean, man.
it's to
Yeah.
the point where keep my eyes open to everything. You can't just be shut off to everything. And then, like I said, once I got to a certain point, D Marble, his videos, man, those things.
Yeah, D good with it.
And then just get the opportunity. I mean, not very many people even realize that, that he's in the back, all the back chat, and, going back and forth and getting to know everybody. So it's like, once it got to a certain point where there were people that
we ain't got nothing to debate now.
Oh, we can. Oh man, I tell you, we can still. Like I said,
I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's some shit going on right now, bro. I almost didn't get on here because I'm dealing with something else. But if y'all didn't know, man, it's some shit going on financially with the financial system. I'm talking about as we speak, dog. It's some stuff that I found out. I'm not only in the FE community, I mean, I try to put my nose on all kind of things that's going on, and kind of find out, man. It's I found a secret account connected to my social security number. Everybody has one.
Yeah, the storm. You talking about the Strawman's law?
Y'all heard about that?
No, I didn't.
The Strawman's law. You talking about the Strawman's law, right?
The strawman law. I'm gonna tell you right now. I just paid off most of my bills right now, and it went through. I just ordered some shit off Amazon.
Yeah, we gonna have to bag. We gonna have to do a back chat because I've been trying to figure that out myself for a couple of weeks now.
Right, I'm telling you, I found my shit. I found my little bank, but my name has my name, my social. You know what I'm saying? I've been paying bills all. Now the big problem is a lot of people was getting they was getting their funds.
Let's keep that off the record. Let's keep it off.
I feel you, but I mean, it's already on YouTube, bro. It's already they making videos about it, but I feel you though.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, man, you already know how they fucking with us. They already trying to make.
Yeah, you're right.
They already trying to make our movement illegal. That's what I'm saying. Let's keep that like on a private video call with the three of us or whatever. Anybody else who want to join to the back chat, that's fine. But
yeah, I feel you.
The guy right now, because I'm trying to figure this shit out
too right now.
So you feel me right now, man? Like this going on right now. And I'm wondering why it's not on the news, but I ain't gonna speak on no more on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean we can, but let's do it on a private call, like because man, because I'm trying to figure that out too. I really want to know some more information on that too. But let's do it, like I said, in the back chat.
All right, I got you
today or something.
I got you.
Yeah. So we were talking about before. Like I said, my goal is to find out because I had to do a lot of research and looking into shit to pretty much be accepted as a Glover by you guys. So the way I see it is she should be at least putting out that effort to research and find out things. So either way.
Now what was one thing that you was kind of stuck on? Like what was that one thing that kind of made you come on over to the flat side, so to speak?
What really started it was the eclipse part. When it first came out. Remember NASA's little model they made up with the little Earth spinning the wrong way and
trying
to explain the shadow, and then like what the hell? That's what really got me because I've always not trusted NASA. That's a gimme, but that really got me. And then he showed exactly how it is, and it made sense. So it was like, well, shit. If a flat earther can fucking explain the eclipse, but NASA can't, that's some funny shit right there. So that's kind of what pushed me over. And then everything he says, man, it comes from truth. So it's not like You know, it's not like you really need to even try to debunk it.
Right.
They gonna get mad. They gonna be like, "Oh, are you an engineer?" I'm like, "God damn it, I don't."
You ain't gotta be all that.
Vivian Thomas didn't know how. Didn't have to be a doctor to fuck with medicine, to fuck with people's damn doctor. He wasn't certified, licensed, or educated
also
doctor.
the thing is,
but he still knew. But he still knew medicine, didn't he?
Well, that's the thing. Because I have decided to go this way now, I still have zero clue, and I still feel like you still gotta, whether flat earthers or globers really want to realize it, you need both models to figure out either model. You know what I mean?
Right.
To figure out what works and what doesn't work. So like I said, I still got that side, and you know, I'm still gonna, I'm not gonna just not want to be discussing shit and debating shit. So if it comes to need to play with the globe, let's play. And, you know, it's fun. And
Right.
there's still things I'm figuring out that I still got to figure out for the globe to make sense for everything else. So I'm not done researching the globe stuff and talking about it, but where I am at is on the flat side.
That's cool. I meant to tell you, man. Thank you for having me on your panel and inviting you into your home.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Me too, man. This is like my little debut, man. I've never been on YouTube. I've never done anything like this, man. So,
well, this is officially the first stream with people like.
I got a call. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm gonna drop out and be with my wife. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm just starting out, man. I know this ain't gonna be big. I'm way too small to be anybody, but it's fun to get the opportunity to, you know, make your own topics. You're not running with everyone else, you know, whoever's channel it is like that. So I'm open to everything. And like I said, it got in my little description and the title of it's discussion. And I know damn well there was no ill will between nothing like that at all, regardless.
You know,
even if you hadn't found out
I might talk a little trash in the chat a little bit, but a lot of times I can get taken out of context when you don't really hear the voice saying it. So
I've seen you around so many damn times, and I'm sure you've heard me and seen me around. There's no way in hell it was gonna be like that. If it was gonna be like that, we would have known. Definitely known right away. But no, it's cool.
I'm just like you, man. Just like you, I try to. I really I didn't just fall for the flat earth. I really had to research. Like I said, I've been researching about 2 years, bro. So I really looked into it, and you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's, like I said, there's things that work on each model that don't work on the other. Or what I've been to do is if I'm gonna discuss or debate anything, you know, it's more of the things that don't change on the models. You know what I mean? The last one I just got into it with, I was on Dreads, and it was you know, the light rays, the sun rays that come towards and it's just like, and it's, I get what, you know, it's hard. One of the things I figured out, it's hard to have a discussion or debate even more when one person in their brain it's a globe and the other person it's flat. I mean, it's almost impossible for either one to understand each other. But the one thing that I realized in the middle of the conversation we were having, it was that regardless of if it's a globe or if it's flat, this, you know, sun energy rays are the same, work this exact same way. And
that's
so
the
they were
problem,
trying to say that.
That's why it's kind of hard, man, because, you know, they made the globe model to kind of coincides with the flat earth.
Well, exactly.
Mathematically, it works. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to see the difference sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? Because sometimes, you know, well, most of the time, it can go both ways. I've seen that at a lot of the topics. It can go both ways.
Yeah, that's the fun part, getting to figure out which one is which and everything. One of the things that, you know, got me going was I got the opportunity to finally found surveyors that, you know, feel like it's a flat earth, and they told me a bunch of, you know, numbers and ideas I got to look into, but they just added to Tank, basically, you know, like one of the big ones I'm kind of wrapping my head around right now is, well, let's just say theoretically it is a globe, and
here we're talking gravity. So the northern hemisphere, we have regular gravity. If you weigh 200 pounds, that's how much you weigh. Well, he was explaining if this was possible, even with
gravity a lot. I've studied that a lot. I said I've studied gravity a lot, bro. That's what really got me. That's what really pushed me over right there. Because if you think about it, this is something that a lot of people I don't hear them talking about. A lot of flat earthers don't talk about just the geometry about it. Especially if you think if you think Earth is an oblate spheroid that's bigger below the equator, where's the center of mass in that? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that there's no center. There's no geographic center to an object like that.
Exactly, and then on top of that, wouldn't we be lighter at the?
I mean, that kind of debunks
on a spheroid that's wider at the equator or whatever. Shouldn't we weigh lesser equator than we do it below the equator if a spheroid is supposed to be wider below the equator or whatever?
Yeah, you're right.
Theoretically, you're supposed to have the closer to the center, the more gravity. But so check this out. If you're on the southern hemisphere, realistically, so the way the globe is built and everything, the southern hemisphere, theoretically, you're upside down, right?
Right.
Theoretically, yeah.
Gravity wouldn't be the same as it would be in the northern hemisphere because it's adding to another force. So whatever phenomenon makes you feel like you're right side up in the southern hemisphere, not upside down, regardless, you would still be upside down, which means gravity would have to be more to keep you feeling that way.
Especially when you take into account the centrifugal force. That has
and look, not only that, they said that they're not upside down, but yet the southern star trails direction. Now I can spin a top right now, right? I can spin a top standing right side up, and the top will go one direction. But if I hang upside down on the ceiling, the top is going in the opposite direction. So it's like they try to have it both ways. We're not upside down, but yet the southern star trails moves in directions as if we was in upside down. It doesn't make any sense. They try to have their cake and eat it too with the globe.
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Those are the big things that I'm trying to figure out, because in my brain, if I'm thinking of it that way, I mean, realistically, everyone's got to open their minds. Even the flat earth's got to open their minds to it, because it could be flat, and then there could be 1,000 other equations to it. Like, for instance, I don't believe there's a dome. Even flat, I still believe there's got to be satellites because of how communication is.
Hey, hold on, man. I'll be right back. Hold on for now. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah. Like what I was saying, I think there could be still satellites, because when you do watch a satellite feed, it cuts out. Well, maybe it cuts out once it gets to the bottom half of the flat Earth that they don't want you to see. I mean,
it could, but what's keeping it in orbit? Like,
well, see, that's the thing.
I don't know gravity. What's keeping it in order?
I have no clue. You know what I mean? And those are the type of things I'm talking about.
I don't either. You're not alone.
So I mean, what I also realize is just because if let's just say, all right, they've proven it's flat, but I mean, there's still so much that, I mean, how can you say that there's no satellites? You know what I mean? I mean, I get the whole gravity thing, but maybe they have the technology to keep a satellite where they want it to be. I mean, and if there is no gravity and it's not orbiting, maybe they just control the satellite that way.
Yeah, I say it's no satellite because nobody actually caught it.
Say again?
Yeah, he said it could be like a balloon or something. But I say it's no satellite because nobody has even caught one. Even the globalists, they've never caught one in their telescope. They never caught one on camera.
They're crossing the moon.
None of that
shit. You would see them at least every what?
See thousands of them. You see thousands of them. It would blot out the moon. It would blot out the sun. I mean, it's so many.
You got to remember, a plane flying at 35,000 feet. Look how small those things are.
Right.
Where they're saying satellites are almost almost 100 times further away.
Right. Especially like that's my point with the ISS. Because I think that's supposed to be what, about 400 miles? That's about 400 miles up?
No, 250, 250, 300, something like that.
Okay, but yeah.
But my thing is, if they pass in front of the moon, you should, and by it being mostly metal and stuff, you should at least see some type of glimmer or reflection from the moon satellite pass by it. It would be able. This just like when how you can see the lights on a plane. It's, you know, even farther away or whatever. There's something the size of a football field or whatever, or something that's very huge. You should see it pass. I mean, you should see it glimmer as it passes in front of the moon. I would think.
Titan, remember there was a kid named Near that came on Dreads, real smart kid.
Yeah, I miss Near, man. I miss building with him.
Yeah, he came on earlier when I was on, and he had another picture of ISIS, and I said, because I know what you're saying it is, so I can see it. But you know, in every picture, it's nice. It's all blurry and it's not. Right. There's no detail to it. And then if you get NASA's version of it, it's not real. It's not even a real picture. So I was like, I was talking to him, building with that, and I was letting him know. I was like, hey, it would be show this to a flat earther. It'd be better to figure out how to train the telescope so you can get a clear picture, or they have to have something that makes a clear picture out of it, because otherwise it's just a blurry object that's in space, and that's all.
They can't. I mean, bottom line, they can't. I'm thinking it might be.
They can't, but they can zoom in on Jupiter.
Some kind of technology.
But they can zoom in on Jupiter, and they can zoom in on Jupiter or Saturn, and those pictures be crystal clear, which is way farther away from the ISS.
Right.
Telescopes, they can zoom in on Jupiter or Saturn, and you get a very, very clear image. But you can never get a clear image with the ISS.
But you have to also look at it as they're taking photos, like they take photos of Saturn. That's a huge planet, and you're comparing it to basically a toy car size object.
Yeah, but look how far it's supposed to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's my argument. Is like, look how far Saturn is and Jupiter is in these immature telescopes, and them things clear. But anytime they try to show a picture or whatever, like it's some type of hologram or projection or something.
That's another thing that got me, man. When I started, matter of fact, I went out, I bought me a kind of nice little binoculars and started looking at the stars, man. And that, them shits ain't nothing. They don't look nothing like how they portray it in the pictures, bro. I mean, it kind of tripped me out. Like, wow, look how you get these pretty pictures. From what I'm looking at, it kind of looks like lights going through water. Some of them, they change shapes. I can see it. It's just weird, man. It don't look nothing like how they portray it. So that's what really got me too in the beginning.
I'll be right back, y'all. I'm finna drop my son off at the bus stop real quick. Give me about 15 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, bro.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, but with stars, see that for me, it's. I feel like everything has to be further away, sun, the moon, and everything, based on the fact that they are able to, like when they say stars are light years away, and a lot of flat earthers, that sounds stupid, because it does sound stupid. But the problem is,
when you think about
that we know, like it goes back to the light energy. We can see the light, but we can't see a source. If you have a flashlight and you're shining it from far away,
I get what you're
saying. You'd be able to measure that source, but we can't do that with stars. So when they say it's a billion light years away, I mean that's realistic. That's a rough guess of how far it could be. You know what I mean? And I think that's where flat earthers want more of stamped answer rather than the around that NASA likes to do.
Right.
I think that's one of the main issues.
The thing about it is, man, I mean, basically nobody knows right now. As of right now, I mean, you got people guessing. Some people saying what 3,000 miles. Some people saying it's less than that.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of the stuff we don't know about it, and that kind of makes me a little irritated too, man. Because a lot of even flat earthers, we tend to make up stuff and try to get. We doing guesswork. It's okay to guess, but don't come out and act like we really know. We don't know what the sun is. We don't even know what the moon is. We don't know where it's at. We don't know what it's made of. You know what I'm saying? All we know, all I know for sure is that I don't see there's no proof of curvature, and that's where I like to keep it.
Exactly.
Because there's no proof, and there's actually proof of it being flat, and that's where it's at, man. I mean, it could be some other shape, but as of right now, it's flat, man. I'm seeing stuff I'm not supposed to see, and I tell you, in the beginning, I kind of went back to where I'm ex-Navy. So I remember being on the ship and seeing ships, 15, 16 miles away. It didn't hit me at the time until later on I started looking into this, and I seen the 8 inches per mile squared, did the calculations, and I wasn't supposed to see that.
True. But see, that's also another thing, because you wouldn't think that 8 inches per square mile is a big thing, but the real number is 0.67, and that
right, yeah,
it changes everything. Because you got to remember this. So basically, the info I'm starting to give, because I'm getting little leaks from old timers, and what they're saying is so the Freemasons, obviously,
right?
Well, the Freemasons don't have any power. They're basically were the guys that their job was to make whatever model it is and the model they want to make sense. So what I was explaining to you is that the Freemasons basically were able to make up the numbers to work on a globe.
Right. Exactly.
Even though it's not, but they still work. You know what I mean? So
they still working it out.
They say the circumference of the globe is like, I think it's 26 or something like that, 25,000. So
yeah, 24,000, 25, something like that. So
the Freemasons' job was to not only explain and be able to detailed show how this globe is that the diameter is that far, yet if someone goes out and tries it themselves, it would do the same. It would match up with their numbers. So basically, the Freemasons have 2 equations for 2 different models. That'd be right. So that's where I was told the Freemasons originally are from, and what they were around for, rather than a power thing. It was more of a, hey, you got some homework to do. You need to make this look right. And I think that's what they were. I think they're the more.
I've seen what was it? Maybe about a couple of weeks ago, man. Vegan Warrior. He had some good videos on that, man. Going into how how the Freemasons, how they kind of basically what you just said, how they twerked it and made it work, and how they got 2 models, one for us and one for them. And it's all in there. In the look at their symbology, it'll show it. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not gonna think it is what it is. Exactly. But they actually kind of putting it in your face, but we just not recognize it. Vegan went in on that. It was I think about 2-3 weeks ago, man. It was a good video, kind of opened my eyes.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest thing too. Also, just people opening their eyes to what's really going on, because like I think they were talking about it in either, I think it was a channel earlier. I was hearing them talking about it as well. They were talking about, everything that's going on with like Trump and these recent protests with the, the KKK guys and all that stuff, and neo-Nazis. Right. And I feel like a lot of people do that's, it's either not even really happening, or that's what they're trying to push down everyone's throat. So, you're not looking in the right direction. So.
Right. Yeah. I've been looking into that lately too.
I'm starting to really notice.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
As a matter of fact, that's because when I think the first person I really started listening to when I got into it was Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, and he has a lot of he just don't talk about FE. He has a lot of different topics he like to go into. I went to his website. He heavy on Sandy Hook and all that. So
yeah, I think I've seen maybe one or two of his videos, but Sandy Hook's one of the ones that I get why they're saying something's up, but at the same time I haven't really looked into it enough, and I haven't seen enough that really shows it was a setup or anything like that.
Yeah,
the only thing I've heard of that wouldn't make any sense to it. Go ahead.
It kind of seems. I mean, if you look into it, you'll definitely see. I mean, there's some actors playing two different parts, and it's all kind of strange anomalies going on with that. So if you looked into it, you'll definitely recognize something up. The flat Earth kind of just trumps all that.
There was a lot of that I saw, but the only ones that I could see that made sense, or I could say, yeah, that is an actor, were the adults. I kind of, I went through where the kids that were supposed to be deceased, and then they showed them later on doing something. Some of them, it's I can't tell if that kid is the same kid, but I see where they're saying. So those ones I couldn't took one. It wasn't something I could just cling on to, because it was, it's kids are kids, and you can, sometimes little white kids look like little white kids, and little black kids look like little black kids, and that's just reality. It's not a racist. So that's why I never really clung on to that. But I mean, there's so many you can go down a list of figuring out, because when I think I was I had early 20s when 9/11 happened, and
yeah, me too.
And I hadn't heard about Operation Northwoods and Mockingbird. I hadn't heard about any of those, but yet I still felt like 9/11 was what the hell. Then you find out about all the shady shit that was going on before, and then you're like, okay, yeah.
Right. I remember 9/11, man. I was over here. I was in the Navy, and actually, our ship was the first ones to go over there. We left a week later.
Oh damn!
And we had we was basically like a command base for all the special forces. So I got to see a lot of that shit firsthand, man. They went over there snatching people up. I was working security at the time on the ship, so I would be taking, I guess, so-called prisoners that the special forces would bring back to the ship. I'd be taking them to wherever they're supposed to go. It was kind of surreal. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking. These motherfuckers got bags on their heads. I was 21 years old. I'm walking.
Damn.
Some dude, and then come to find out later on, now that I know what I know, man, them people, they was probably innocent people, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Out there, herding their sheep. All of a sudden, a Black Hawk come down and just swoop them up. And no longer to be found.
That was one of the other things. Because I was on, me and my father had a contract on Camp Pendleton, and just the atmosphere, how everything changed when it happened.
Right. Yeah.
When it first happened, 5-10 years down, or five at the time, it was about 5 years after the war had started. You started just morale, everything changed, and you started hearing about what was going on over there, and it was just like this to it. You know what I mean? Then I come to find out,
I didn't.
Like we were out, they were talking about weapons of mass destruction. When I come to find out that Saddam was basically going, hey, do your investigation. Let's just get this over with. Like, he didn't want to go to war.
Hell no. And it's funny because we never found those weapons. And then it was like, everybody forgot about it. I thought that was kind of like, fuck it. Like it's too late. Let's not even talk about that. I'm like, hold on, man. Shouldn't somebody be on an investigation? Or?
Well, yeah, someone needs to be in jail, but that's not obviously that's how it worked. I mean, shit. Look at Hillary Clinton. All the shit she's done. If a normal civilian did 1/1000th of the things she did, they'd be in prison for life.
Them folks, they above the law, man.
That's crazy.
They are above the law. That's a lot of shit. Me being in the military, you see a lot of They tell a lot of lies, man. I seen a lot of lies on a lower level, so that really got me thinking, on the small scale they lying. So they probably, who knows what's the truth as you go up. I mean, they told a lot. I caught them in a lot of lies. Shit that they reported happening that didn't happen. And, especially I would say on the news, CNN, I'm catching them on all kind of lies. Because I'm like, hell no, that didn't happen. Because I was right there when they said it happened and it didn't. So it's a lot of shit.
Exactly.
Man.
I had a couple of buddies right out of high school that joined the Army Reserve, and a couple of them passed away and so at a so-and-so location. And then, you talk to the family, and then you find out it happened a month and a half ago, and it happened somewhere completely different. And, everything's just, the whole story changed. And it was like, what was the whole point of doing all that?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of that, especially I've seen a lot of cases where sailors actually killed themselves, but they didn't report it. They reported it as something else.
Yeah, I know a lot of Marines that basically just told, they kept it real with me, what was going on over there, and then they'd be saying a lot of the stuff that has nothing to do. Suicides have nothing to do with real PTSD. It's more of what they were ordered to do in the beginning and thought it was right, and then realizing how bad it was. I mean,
it
probably still falls under PTSD, but it's bigger than that. It's not just what the battle they were involved in. It's the things they were made to do or thought they were doing right. When in reality,
that's the main. I bet you that's the main thing, bro. That's the main thing. Just luckily, I was in the Navy, so I didn't have to really. I didn't witness too much. Crazy stuff. I seen some shit, but not really like how them boys on the ground probably seen. But you do see a lot of. I mean, it's like you just realize that your government is full of shit, pretty much, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You got into something thinking, especially a lot of cats that got in after 9/11, they was real patriotic, and they got in there just because of that. Like, really thought their nation was under attack, and then come to find out it's some fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That'll weigh heavy.
That's the biggest issue. Oh yeah, even it weighs heavy on someone who I've never actually been in the military, and it weighs heavy. It's like, damn. I mean, you're sending friends and families out to do. There's absolutely no reason for it.
Well, it's a reason, but it ain't the one that we think is for.
Yeah, it's definitely a trip. That, and realistically, that's all that stuff, and then compiled to the thousands of things we haven't even brought up.
Right,
is exactly why believing anything they say is far-fetched. It's not even worth even entertaining what they say.
I mean, you can almost do. I mean, if they say something, it's almost safe to say just believe the opposite, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
On a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of things that just popped in my head, because then once you get to it's flat, then you got to start thinking about 100 other things,
right, like that open it up.
Yeah, remember when they were talking about the piece of Antarctica that had the big crack in it, and they were talking about it falling off and everything.
Right. Yeah.
At the same time, that's when Kerry and a whole bunch of other leaders of countries started for some odd reasons just started visiting Antarctica. Right. Now, to me, I almost felt crazy when I first heard it, because I was like, well, damn, maybe there is a fucking hole with a whole underground society, because realistically, it was like, okay, well, of the chunk they said was breaking off, theoretically, that should have brought up, ocean levels up to 2 to 3 feet. 2 to 3 feet around the world. That's a fucking lot. I mean, that's
right. That's sinking some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, California's gone. I don't know if people realize it.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places that just won't exist anymore. So I was like, well, maybe if that's what's going down for real, they're going to, reserve their nice bed and breakfast, make sure it's all good to go.
Make sure they bunker squared away. But the thing about it is, like, a lot of people just don't connect the dots, man. They just don't.
There's so many. That's the problem. There's so many dots. I mean, shit, it could go in any fucking direction if you really think about it. And the problem is we don't get to find out until what? I think was it 50 years they declassify records, and then you got to think of
then nobody cares.
Well, yeah, and then you got to think of, well, we obviously now know that they're doing a lot of shit that's not on record at all. So that's even worse because they know the stuff they classify eventually is going to be declassified. So that's the stuff almost you got to realize they want you to know. They don't care if you find out about.
It seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like I've heard people talk about it like it's almost a rule with them. Like they have to kind of disclose what they're doing.
Yeah, I saw eventually. That, but I haven't figured out a reason why they would have to do that. You know, to make it so
right. I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, why would you hide flat Earth? You know, a lot of people got their little theories about that, but we don't know. It could be some shit nobody even thought of. Like, why would they hide that?
And for a while, I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure something out. I'm gonna show these flat earthers exactly why it's a globe. And then you go on like WikiLeaks, thinking you're gonna find something or some kind of jargon or talk about it, and you go. That's where I came up with the whole, damn, if it's classified at one point, they know they got to declassify it. They know what people are gonna see, so it's still at their whim. They're still telling you what you know. It has nothing to do with what you found out.
Right.
Even like the whole whistleblower thing. I'm not sure if you saw it a couple weeks ago. The government had a live, YouTube news stream saying we're cracking down on whistleblowers. And I'm thinking, man, 2-3 years ago, Obama was sitting there telling everyone, full protection. And now all of a sudden if they want martial law, they can go martial law anytime they want.
Right. Obama did a lot of that. A lot of laws he passed. That
that was after he said, I will put in front of me, I will bring it to the public, to the American people. And right. I don't remember one press conference he did that.
Hell no, man. He got a forked tongue just like the rest of them, man. Him, Trump.
Because that little deal that made it so they can detain and investigate and listen in on our calls, all that stuff, that literally happened overnight.
Right. Yeah. While you were sleeping.
Yeah, and literally, there wasn't even a side way of it. That's exactly when it happened. But no one was watching. Everyone was asleep.
Another thing a lot of people don't know about is the law Obama passed, where it's legal for the United States government to put out propaganda.
Oh yeah.
It's legal now. A lot of people don't even. That means the news, all that shit, fake news, and it's kind of funny how fake news coming up now. But now it's legal. I try to tell people, they look at me like I'm crazy, but you can look it up online. You can Google that. He passed the law.
That's the crazy part, because now everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows you can't trust the news anymore. And then,
but they still do.
What happened? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can't imagine how people sit there for hours watching it. But then you have all the people on YouTube or other mainstream ways that people that can just speak out. Now they're all cracking down on them and messing. I mean, I've never seen YouTube like it is now. I mean, everybody's getting fucked with.
Yeah,
if you're not saying you have any point of view, you're getting banned. YouTube came out and said we have just random people going out and deciding if your channel is good enough or your videos are allowed to be there. It's not even on a
right. They got an army of people.
Yeah, that just go and whatever they believe, they can shut you down. That's crazy.
And the thing, because YouTube was kind of, that was the platform that's what kind of built YouTube. I know that's a huge part of YouTube is so-called alternative views.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of the reason, one of the main reasons for YouTube, for everybody to be topics that's not really, mainstream. This was a spot where you can come in and talk about it. Get your voice heard.
Do they realize that a group of people can make something mainstream?
Right, it's getting out of hand.
People getting together can.
That cat got out the bag. They can't control it, so they trying to right now. I guess they can control it. It's their platform, but
everyone's seeing.
We'll see what happens.
That's the kind of thing. Because I'm kind of interested. I mean, it sounds weird, but I'm kind of interested in seeing if they decide to invoke martial law. How do you get your military, against family and friends? Because during Katrina they tried it, and I mean, I'm surprised more people didn't get shot.
Right. Well, a lot of people did, man.
Well, and they didn't report a lot of it too. That's the crazy part.
But the way they're gonna do that is, I mean, basically they're gonna have everybody ask for it. People are gonna ask for martial law. It's gonna get that bad. That's what I think.
I just don't think it's possible. I think, for one, I think there's too many people with weapons that won't let that happen. I don't think there's enough Marines. I don't think there's enough military that will turn guns on their family, let alone people turn their guns in.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
And they, I think they used what's it called? That group, the contractors. They used those guys,
right,
in New Orleans during Katrina, and they actually were going around taking people's guns and stuff. But I think that was so with the hurricane and all the confusion and the rescuing and all that. I think that's why that didn't come out. But I just think there are places that's not going to work. I mean, if that happened in Texas, man,
the hell,
that's a whole different story right there, man.
I think like Katrina, that might have been like, I think all of these little incidents that happen, it's like a test, and they just trying to see what's going to happen, what's going to work, what's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know,
I think all these little, even the event that just happened in North Carolina, I think that was just a little small little test to see how people gonna take it and the reaction they're gonna get from everybody.
Yeah, right now I think they're in the age of see which way we can make them look. Because Trump, I mean, I don't understand. He's not qualified to be a president, but he became president. Look, I mean, over Hillary, that's a lesser of two evils. But at the same time, president that tweets every day, talks shit.
That shit is crazy.
All that is just a big. That's just a big look at me. It's not real. But the question is what are they? What are they trying to keep us from watching?
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we might have some.
We're gonna see.
Yeah,
it seems to always come out somehow. Welcome back, Titan.
We might have some company, man. Thanks. Sean and maybe Duke might Legend might come by, show some love, man. On my Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Help build the channel or what?
Cool, because I like to talk to him about this whole stump thing that they're spreading around the whole world right now. That thing got me aggravated. Then that sniper earlier and alcoholic shit got me aggravated because I couldn't get in there and talk. So and then the conversation got so beyond where I was at in it that I didn't feel like I could jump in and really have a conversation about it.
Yeah, Tiffany might come by too.
She's in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you might gotta post a link again because the link probably disappeared since ago. Well, no, it might still be there since it's not that many people in the chat. What I better say? So, was you able to hear my Goldilocks tonight?
Yeah, I heard it.
It kind of makes sense, right?
Oh, it does. But that's what me and Free were just talking about. We're just talking about there's so many paths that the truth can be on that, I mean, it could be a million years before, the real truth of everything could be even figured out. And
I think it'll be a lot sooner than that, man. For some reason, man, I just feel like this stuff is coming to it's coming. It got to come out, man. It's too much stuff coming out, bro. So,
but at the same time,
but a lot of this stuff revolves around I mean, like when Brother Sanchez breaks down the trident that represents sun, moon, and earth, and a lot of these numbers and stuff are Trinity, are like 33 and 36 and what 10 and 60. All of these numbers are basically are divisible by 3, like the Holy Trinity.
Right.
And then I got to thinking about, you know what I'm saying, the 3 peaks, and I was like a little far fetched for me because I really couldn't connect how humanity is connected to flat Earth like I could with the Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
Yeah, hey, we were just talking. It's funny how that should have seen you. It'll have you thinking about all kind of shit, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn, the 7 dwarfs, all that
theories,
shit, man.
bro.
Like, well, hold on.
It'll have you thinking about all these stupid theories they put in children nursery rhymes and stories and shit. That's why I like, but the one thing that really makes sense that nobody really can deny, well, they can try to deny, but it's still the truth, no matter how many people don't believe it, and it makes you think. Why would they call our part of the solar system the Goldilocks zone? Goldilocks were surrounded by the Holy Trinity. She was inside the Trinity.
It's Titan connecting them dots, boy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Goldilocks zone, where Earth is just right. When she ate the 3rd bowl, Earth being the 3rd rock from the sun, she ate the 3rd bowl. You know what I'm saying? We drunk the Kool-Aid. We drunk the Kool-Aid since fucking birth.
Right.
We ate their porridge. I'm just saying, we ate their porridge since birth. Right.
Another thing. Another story I like to that kind of hit me was the tortoise and the hare, man. That's actually
how the moon catches up with the sun.
Exactly. That's some crazy shit, bro.
Motherfucking legendary Duke.
Even more than I wanted to talk to Free-Minded is this motherfucker, legendary, who has now.
I'm gonna fall back. Yeah, I'm gonna fall back so y'all two can build. What up, legend? Sean wanted to build. Sean wanted to build with you real quick. I'm gonna fall back and listen.
All right, what's going on, fellas?
What up,
sir? Welcome.
What's good? Flat Power Squad.
Yeah, Sean. So what's up, Sean? You took that fence out your butt?
I got a problem with this whole stump talk you got spreading around the world right now, man. This is crazy.
everybody. I knew you was going to have a problem with that one.
And then I got kicked out of the panel. I was ready to call legendary sniper. I was like,
I can't snipe nobody from my damn Android phone, man.
Oh, I know. I'm just playing with you, man.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of the things you were saying. Like, I get it, and yeah, there are probably trees that were a lot bigger than they are around now. But damn, man, come on.
What y'all talking about, man? What hangout y'all talking about?
Okay,
Talkaholic.
Oh, okay.
Talkaholic had
must have missed that one
show today, but he's been doing some research and reading up on giants and giant trees. So I'm not sure if you've heard of Devil's Slide or Devil's Tower. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Australia.
Yeah. So a lot of people
think
it's a tree, but
it's definitely a tree.
I don't know.
Well, you go and you explain it, Lendry. You can explain a lot better, and I'm only going to explain like I feel. So it'd be better.
I seen that video they made a while back about what was it? No forest on flat Earth.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Before you start, Legendary, I'm gonna Okay, hang on. Here's the problem with that video. Because that was the video that got me all amped up because Legendary had already been talking about it, and then Real Talkaholic had posted it because I guess she wanted to use it for a show. That video, man, it's like the lady sounds crazy as far as I'm concerned, and the whole thing. There's not one bit of proof she keeps saying, looks like, seems like. Those were the
Right.
the grabbing points. And
Well,
it's like,
that was like dubbed by the original video was by some Russian dude or something. And,
right.
He just dubbed it.
Okay, so that's why it sounds a little dumbed down, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, pretty exactly.
Because you could barely understand, dude. He had that strong accent, man.
Okay. Yeah, because when I listen to it, it's just like, man, and I'm telling you, I had said something in Real Talkaholics panel, and I was like, the lady says there's no such thing as rock, and she said, I don't think you listened to it all the way, and I went back, and that's why I was gone that whole time. I pretty much listened to the whole rest of the half of the video, and she said it. I even dubbed it. It was like, there are no such thing as rocks, and then at that point I went, okay, you're crazy. You got to be out your mind.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they take shit to the extreme. It doesn't necessarily mean everything that they're saying doesn't have some validity to it. I definitely get where you're coming from. That's some bullshit. There's no such thing as rocks.
Hold on. What
total fabrication?
What was our angle on that? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, that was the problem I had. Because so, in saying that, what is being told is that all these big mountains and everything that you see, it's all ancient trees that were, supersized. That's only to make, the 6 or 7 giant stumps that they believe are stumps seem more believable. If you can convince somebody that, stalagmitic rock is broken off tree, then you could try to convince them that Devil's Tower is a huge stump. The problem I have with it is there's a huge difference between petrified wood and rock, and both can be tested.
Well, I remember